Well, hey, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's Dave coming to you from the Fireside here in Wyoming. It's Saturday about 6 p.m. Um, so I haven't had a fireside chat for a few days. Just had a lot going on and nothing burning to say, so I just thought I'd give you guys a break. You can go spend your 20, 30 minutes with somebody else. But so we definitely got a storm that came in yesterday. Came in late afternoon, early evening, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, and it's a pretty good one. Here in Moran, in the Wyoming house, we got about 2 feet. Um, there could be another 2 feet over the next 2 days. We'll see. Even for up here, that's a lot for one storm. So the local road plowers come through once, came through about 3 or 4 a.m. last night. But he hadn't come through since, so it's a little deep out there. And the National Park has plowed the main road through the park, but has not started on the side roads, which they consider ours to be, which I don't blame them. But that meant there's been no plow on our road, so there's about 3 miles from the homestead gate to the main road in the park that it was unplowed, so we had to kind of plow through that. So I did three trips up and back, just running tracks to make sure the road stayed open. But we got downtown. The first 10 miles was rough. It got easier as we got into town. As we get lower elevation and more into the valley, it lightened up. And then by the time I got into town, it was actually just fine. So we had a full house. There were probably 10, 12 guys there today. And Jackson Hole, the town, Jackson, Wyoming, it looked like nothing happened. Traffic was normal. All the shops are open. It's just different out here. If they closed every time they had a snowstorm, they'd only be open about half the time. So pretty nice. I like that. Tough folk out here. So I took some video clips of the snowstorm this morning and then the drive out towards town. So I'm going to go ahead and roll those up and show those to you right now. There's a shot of Sasha having a bone on the rug in the lounge. That's her favorite place. So I'm going to go ahead and show you those clips, and then it's probably 5 minutes, something like that, and then we'll come back and keep chatting. See you guys in a minute.
Well, we got pretty much snowed most of the night. You can see the snow on this pillar right here. Probably about 8 or 9 inches so far. Started snowing again. Trees look really nice. So Clint came in the middle of the night and did some plowing. You can see that snow wall. Look how big that is. Here's a little view out the back off of Sean's deck. Truly winter here right now. The sky is dark gray and snow's falling. It's whisper quiet out right now. Alright guys, this is the driveway coming out. We got about a foot of snow at least, starting last night. My plow guys come through here once, but you can see it's pretty sloppy. You can see these snowballs. I drove all the way out to the main road this morning just to lay some tracks down. And it's about 12:30 on Saturday. So we'll see if we can, sorry, so bumpy. Hopefully we'll be successful and we'll get down to town because we have way more snow than they do. So if I can just get through the first 10 miles or so of the 30 miles, it should be fine. And this is the end of the Homestead Road. You can see the back of the Homestead sign right there. And we're now entering park roads. And you can see the parks have not been able to plow back here yet. So the U.S. Park Service plows right here, but They just haven't got it. So we've got 3 miles to the main road, which I did earlier when I was laying tracks down. So I know we can make it out to the main road, and that has been plowed. But you can see it's a winter wonderland out here, that's for sure. I'm going to show you the snow wall has gotten pretty high. It's pretty much, you can't see anything, the light is so flat, but the snow wall comes right up to the window. I'm in a Ford Expedition, so I'm pretty high up. You can see the wall comes right to my window. So we have 4.5 foot snow walls on the sides right now. All right, guys, so we've made it 3 miles now outside the homestead. And we're now about to turn on to the main park road here in Grand Tetons National Park. Snowplow may not have come around since he did it early this morning, so it might be a single plow. And we've got about a mile out to the main highway, so hopefully the highway looks a little better than this. We'll see. And again, you can see what a winter wonderland it is out here. All right, so we're leaving the park now. This is the park entrance gate. We're on the exit side, but it's actually open. I'd actually charge someone to go in the park today. That seems a little bit nuts. But anyway, well, we're coming up to the main highway. It's right up straight ahead of us up there. That's the T up there. So we are going to be turning right, and then it's about a 30-mile drive to the shop. Softly white. You can see the snowplow piles over here. Yeah, wow. So this is the main highway in Wyoming, and clearly maybe been plowed once, but it's kind of rough shape. All right, I'm gonna get off here and drive. All right, so we're up on what I call the high plains. It's almost a whiteout. You can see I got a tour bus in front of me, if you can believe that crap. But so that's the Teton view I always show you is right there. So clearly we can see about 100 yards maybe. You look out on the plains. So we're high plateau. The winds, this is where the winds are the most extreme, where I live out here. It's about a 3 or 4 mile stretch. And when the wind gets blowing like this, it can turn into a whiteout pretty quickly. So you can see how wintry it is up here. See, Sasha's a little nervous about it. She usually likes to have a window open. We can't do that today. And she knows it's different. It's different here. Different vehicle. I'll tell you about that later. She's snuffling you. You saying hi, girl? Yeah, I know. She's a little unhappy right now. So we're in crazy weather right now. I don't know if it looks any different than before, but luckily the bus is in front of me. I can use it and we just passed a snowplow, so the road is pretty nice here. I mean, it's all ice and snow, so you gotta be super careful, but you can see I can barely see the bus sometimes. Yeah, there's your whiteout from the wind. We got a car coming at us, and a car going the same way as us, just in front of the bus. But you can see it's pretty close to whiteout up here right now. I know what you're thinking. I can hear you yelling at the screen. The hell are you doing videoing when you can barely see anything and you're on snow and ice and it's blowing 50 miles an hour? But once an idiot, always an idiot. I just wanted to give you guys some honest to God Wyoming winter weather. Yeah, it's pretty crazy out here, that's for sure. This is why we hate tourists.
It's a drop in the bucket. It's nothing. It's zero. It's like spending $100.
Right, check.
Yeah.
Check the price of smoke.
Okay, so that's pretty good visual of what it looks like here today after the, 20 hours, 24 hours of storming. We've got basically 2 more days. It's supposed to be like this pretty much tomorrow and Monday, kind of off and on snow. Next 48 hours, and then it's supposed to warm up. So we should be almost 40 degrees the rest of the week, Tuesday through Friday, something like that. So it should make it pretty much a skating rink the first half of the day, and then bare and wet on the roads in the afternoon, and then back to frozen in the evening. So you just have to be super careful and know what you're doing. Tourists have a lot of time. I showed you the tourist that was going too fast and slipped off the road. But you know, it happens to a lot. People come visit here in winter for the first time, don't really understand that it's real winter, and even plowed roads are icy and snowy, and it's not until the sun can get on them after a storm is finished that the roads really are bare and wet or bare and dry. So we see a lot of accidents here for that reason. So usually pilot error, just going too fast. I think they can drive 60 miles an hour on ice and have no consequences. So anyway, and then the last one I was Sasha. I mean, she has a ball at the lounge. Everybody knows her. Everybody loves her. A good buddy of mine, Dusty, brings in his little dog, Sophia. You've seen her on video a couple of times. So anyway, just a really nice day, and yeah, everybody manned up and got to the shop. I was shocked when I walked in; it was packed. So anyway, just a really good day. It's nice to be back. Got back a little early. I decided to make an adult decision and leave the lounge early enough that we could get home in the light, because driving home last night in the dark was a bit sketchy through the storm. So I didn't want to repeat that. So we're here early at 6 o'clock instead of 7:30 or 8. So it's just a nice feeling to be home, watch it get dark from inside the house. So it feels good. All right, so another thing that happened yesterday is we had a new vehicle join the family. So I'm going to go ahead and take you out to the garage and show you the new vehicle, and then we'll come back and I'll talk to you about why it is here, and yeah, what happened that we needed to get the add a vehicle. So I had to trade in my 2018 Ford Expedition. Got a 2024. We did that yesterday. My buddy Dusty owns the Ford dealership here, so he got me set up nice, real nice. It's black, 100% black. Just a beautiful road rig. The exact same Road Warrior that I had, just 6 years newer. And I just wanted to show it to you tonight. Get a little bit better weather. I'll get it outside and show it to you proper. So the 2018 Expedition has been coming apart a little bit the last year. First it was little things, but the electronic stuff on these new vehicles are the first to go, but once they start to go, there's a cascading effect, and they're incredibly hard to find, incredibly expensive to find. So the running boards stop presenting very well. They present and then not retract. The rear tailgate lift wouldn't lift or wouldn't close when you needed it to. You couldn't even do it manually. You'd actually close it manually and the car would pop it back open. It was pretty crazy. And then the front differential was going bad. It was grinding, and my mechanic in Maryland said, "Hey, you know what? You should just keep driving it. It's got some miles left in it. You should just drive it for a while." But by the time I finished driving it around Maryland, and then driving it 2,000 miles here, and then driving it around here for 2 weeks, I could tell that it was just headed for failure. So I just decided to solve the problem before it became a real problem, because I'm certain of two things. One, God loves me, and two, God has a sense of humor. And if the Expedition, the old one, was going to break down, it was going to do it in the middle of Kansas or Nebraska, hours from anywhere. So I just decided, rather than suffer the consequences of procrastinating, I jumped on it and took care of the problem yesterday. So I traded in the 2018 for the 2024. I did it yesterday. I was telling you before, I've got a good friend, Dusty, that owns Jackson Hole Ford. Good dude, great dealership. Not paying me for this, by the way. But good guy, great internet sales. He'll take care of you. If you need a vehicle, call Jackson Hole Ford. Ask for Dusty and said Dave sent you. But I get nothing for it. I just you'll get taken care of. he took good care of me. So I went in there because I wasn't sure I was going to buy. I knew I needed to trade in the 18, but I had two vehicles I was looking at, and they couldn't have been more apart. One was what I bought, the Ford Expedition. The other one that I test drove two of was the Ford Bronco Raptor. That's what the 9-year-old inside of me wanted to buy. It's essentially a bit of a race car in a Ford Bronco body. And boy, was it sexy. And it did not help tamp down the 9-year-old to test drive a couple of them. They are fantastic, but they're very truck based and very stiff, and spending 30 hours driving across the country, and it just didn't make sense. And it's a much smaller vehicle than the Expedition, obviously. So the adult one yesterday, that may be the first time I've ever said that. So we'll just make a pause for a moment. That inside of me, the adult won the conversation, won the debate. That does not happen very often. So, by the way, the second one time it ever happened in my life was today when I left the lounge early to get home before it got dark. So there's 2 days in a row, 2 adult decisions. So just want to point that out. So, and in no way makes up for all the other idiotic, stupid, immature decisions I've made, but there are 2 good ones now in the recent past. So anyway, drove the Raptors, loved them, great products. Holy crap, I'm not entirely sure I won't buy one someday, but what I needed was a cross-country, reliable, dual dog hauler. I need something that both Sasha and Ranger can fit in for 20, 30 hours at a time, go through all weather of any kind, and be large enough to haul stuff with them back and forth. So the Expedition won, and you've seen it. So that's done. I got to go through all the licensing and titling and license plating and all that, but it's here. I drove it home last night and drove it back and forth today. I love it. It's a great product. So that's a big part of the reason I didn't do a video last night, because I got home really late. I didn't leave town till 7 or 7:30, so I didn't get home because I was driving straight through the dead heart of the storm, and I probably didn't get home in the house till almost 9 o'clock. So I think on this channel you've heard me talk about some of the channels I follow. The one I'm going to reference today is the Economic Ninja. The guy's name is Travis. He has no idea who I am, but I've been faithfully watching him every video for 3 or 4 years, and I take a lot of my guidance in the markets based on him because he's got a proven track record. So, but anyway, that's not the point. The point is, he said something the other day about the goals of his channel, and I mirror him. I so respect the words he said that I'm gonna say them here for my channel. And the first was that when he dies, so when I die, may I go to the pearly gates and face my maker and hear the words, well done, my good and faithful servant. That's sort of the ultimate goal number 1 of my life. It's awfully lofty, and I don't know if I'm on track, but I'm trying to be on track. So when you see the content of this video, and when you see the content of the videos on my channel, the overarching goal is to be a good and faithful servant. And so anyway, and the second thing he said that I really agreed with is that you are my report card. I like that. The way you respond with your comments or your texts or your emails or your phone calls, the way you respond to my videos and me and my content is my report card. And wow, I couldn't have put it any better. So I just want to say that out loud to you guys. I appreciate all the view time you give me. I know my videos are long. I talk about things that I have no business talking about. I review tobacco as a complete moron. I mean, I talk about investment. I talk about CEO school. I talk about life advice. And you guys put up with it. So thank you. But the way you respond to me is my report card. I just thought those were 2 great things. May I someday hear, well done, my good and faithful servant, and you are my report card for this channel. So anyway, I wanted to say it out loud. I wanted to verbalize it. I wanted to put it out into the world, and I wanted to say both things directly to all of you. Okay, so let's have a little bit of investment school tonight. I haven't done an investment school in a while. I think I have two things that I want to talk about tonight when it comes to investments. The first is when you're out, when you're managing your money and you're out, when you have your chips in the middle of the table, you have shoved in, you know, you have a lot of your money invested and working for you. We have to stay aware of the world situation, world events, national events, the temperature, the emotion of the investment world, and in particularly with our current president Trump, you have to be really aware of what he says, because what he says moves markets. Sometimes for the good, sometimes not so good. And so, let's see. Coming into last night, I had all my chips in. I was fully invested. I was fully invested across 8 crypto coins, and I'd had the best investment month I've ever had in the month of January this year. The 31 days of January, God was good to me, and He gave me the best, literally the best month I've ever had in 20 or 25 years of investing, and that's saying something. So when we do that, I talk about beware. You have recency bias, where you think, you know, as the things you invest in go up and up and up and up, you just keep thinking, holy crap, it's just going to keep going. And you run the risk of a blow off top, right, where I showed you like this, where it kind of goes up, and then it's almost an equal ramp back down, sometimes back to where it began, and you're back to zero. And so we have an event Thursday, Friday, and into today, where Trump came out and said he was, in fact, as of today or tomorrow or Monday, depending on who you listen to, truly implementing pretty much comprehensive tariffs on Mexico and Canada and probably China. I'm not going to argue whether the tariffs are good or bad. I don't really know. I'll tell you the sentence that I liked when he started talking about it was, we should stop taxing our citizens and giving the money to foreign citizens. We should start taxing foreign citizens and bringing profitability and improvement to our own citizens. I like that sentence. I don't know where I am on tariffs. I don't really want to argue that point tonight. But tariffs scare markets. And so the markets are off Friday. The crypto markets were off today, and I suspect tomorrow or Monday. Because there's an instability. Are they going to really impose them? How are the other countries going to react? If they retaliate, are we going to counter retaliate? So there's an unknown instability in international commerce with the United States, by the way, with our 3 largest trading partners. And so that scares everybody. And the crypto market was starting to get nervous. Prices were starting to come off their peaks, and I believe was starting to create that downward ramp. And so being aware of those two things, that the things I invested in had blown off so crazy, and we had an external event with Trump announcing real tariffs, I went to cash, which means I pulled all my risk off the table. I sold everything I was invested in and pulled it all to cash into my trading account. And I'm basically out watching the markets. I'm watching to see how they react today, tomorrow, Monday. Now, they may come right around and start, arrest the fall and turn around. If they do, I'll start pushing my chips back into the table very cautiously and carefully. But those are the 2 points as an investor you have to be aware of. Are there external events that are going to affect the market you're playing in? And have things blown up enough price-wise to the point where it can't sustain that slope, and it has to pull back? You need to be aware of those 2 things, and you need to act accordingly. And that usually means take some risk off the table, take some profit off the table, and maybe even reallocate it. It doesn't have to come to cash. What I've been doing for the last 3-4 weeks is, when one asset spiked, I would pull the profit and buy 1 or 2 other assets. And when they spiked, I'd pull the profits and buy 2 or 3 more. So that's how I ended up with 8. I've talked to you about XRP. I'm now in 8. I'm now in 0, by the way. But as of this morning, I was in 8 cryptocurrencies, and will be again over the next few days and few weeks. I don't want to miss what's coming, but I also don't need to ride it down the fear slope while politicians and the financial markets figure out how they're going to work together and if we're going to do tariffs or not, and how that affects our world. So that's it. Those 2 items, that's it for the investment world today. And coincidentally, I have 2 items for CEO School today. I had a great call with one of you today. We had about almost an hour on the phone. And that's what I mean. If you guys want to get involved in CEO School, it's not some big registration. You apply and I approve, and then you pay money and you get into the tuition. It's nuts. None of that. You send me a text, you comment on a video, you send me an email, and many of you have done that lately. And then so we just engage little by little, and I help you as much as I can. You can consume as much as I'll let you. It's up to you. I'm not charging for this. I've said it on so many videos. I'll say it again here. I have no interest in making any money from any one of you for any reason. That is so far from the goal of this channel or what I'm trying to do with it. I've made my money, and I'm making my money through my own investment activities. I am not doing it by, creating a channel, blowing it up, and then saying, okay, well, we're going pay from now on. So I have no interest in that. But if you have a question or problem, something you want to talk about, the way to do it is comment on a video or go to my email. It's in the header, in the channel description, or ask me what it is and I'll give it to you. I mean, none of this is secret. I'm going to start a conversation. So item number 1. Beware what your plan is. Beware what your goal is. Sometimes we like to set out big, huge goals because it feels good to do that. And then we miss them every month for the course of the year. We keep missing our goals. And what I have found is that crushes our soul. You keep missing goals over and over and over, and you just think, your head gets heavy, your shoulders slump. It eats at your soul if you can't hit any of your goals. So my line to my executives when I ran my company was, disappoint me once when you present your goals and plans, and delight me the next 12 meetings when you show me you overachieving your monthly goals. So therefore we overachieve our yearly plan. And if all my executives did that, what happened was the whole company began to overachieve each and every month, and we'd blow our yearly goals away. As opposed to what most executives do, which is impress the shit out of me with your plan, blow me away with your growth numbers and your percentages, and rock my world with how good a year we're going to have. And then you piss off the boss every month when you give out your monthlies because you keep missing your goals because they weren't based on reality. So just go back through your year plan, go through your goals, whether they be investment or income or whatever it is, and make sure they're realistic and not just feel good big targets. Make sure that you have a monthly plan to achieve them and that you actually achieve the monthly goals. And if you find you're missing, if you get 2-3 months into the year and you just keep missing the monthly stair steps or stepping stones to your goals for 2025, my advice would be to push pause and replan, rethink about the rest of the year based on these 3 months. Take these 3 months and flip them over onto the next 9 and really plan using real numbers that you produced flipped forward. And it might not feel good. If you have a goal of 10 and you need to shift it to a goal of 6 or 5, that does not feel good. But then the 9 months of achieving that milestone path will feel good. So beware. So that is CEO School item number 1. So CEO School item number 2 is do not become an excuse machine. things are going to happen to us. We put out our plans. We think we're going to do X or Y. And then something happens. We get sick. Somebody else gets sick. Somebody else asks you something. Your job becomes a little harder, whatever. I mean, the list is absolutely endless. And so you go, well, I can't meet my goals this month because I got sick. Or I can't meet my goals because my wife needed me to do something. Or I can't make my goals because we went on vacation this year, which should have been planned already, by the way. You should have already known when you were going to do that. I had an unexpected trip. My car broke down, whatever it is, right? Things are going to happen to you, and you still have to find a way to work through that and hit your plan. Otherwise, you just find an excuse every month to why you couldn't meet your goal. And so just be aware of that. If you start hearing yourself, well, I couldn't because, those are key phrases. Like, you got to stop saying that and really think about, are you committed to making your goals, or are you not committed to making your goals? So you need a big rudder, you need a giant keel board, in the way of commitment, perseverance, work through the unexpected events and stay on track anyway, or you'll just become a giant excuse machine. And that's it for CEO School tonight. All right, guys, we're pretty much at 32 minutes. We've had a bunch of chats. I've enjoyed it. Good, well-rounded talk tonight, so thanks for that. So let's just wrap it up, man. It's Saturday night. I hope you're having a great Saturday, a great weekend. I hope you got a good Sunday in front of you. The guys at the lounge have already planned. We got a Super Bowl party coming to the lounge next Sunday, so that's pretty fantastic. Hope you got a good week planned out in front of you. Mine's going to basically be what you've seen. I do my house chores. I do my investing in my office work. I go to the lounge. I get home. I try to make a video. That's sort of my week coming up. So hope you have a good plan for yours. So guys, may God bless you. May he bless the lives of those around you. May he turn his ears towards your prayers. May he make his face shine upon you, and may he bless you as good as he has blessed and continues to bless me. That's it, you guys. We'll talk again tomorrow on Sunday. Good night, everybody.